He even at one point posed for a photograph with family members with a big smile and thumbs up on their face. Now, we should note some of the family members were doing the same, but that's their right. Donald Trump, it's seemingly very strange that he would do the same.
That is sacred ground. And the idea that any candidate of any party would use intentionally or unintentionally, use that sacred ground as a prop for a political campaign is beyond condemnation.
So as you saw demonstrated in that clip, Donald Trump is being criticized, I think rightly so, by a number of veterans and concerned citizens about his weirdly casual, loosey-goosey behavior at the Arlington National Cemetery. But that isn't actually necessarily the biggest scandal coming out of this. We'll get to the big scandal in a sec. But first, posing at the grave sites of soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice for America and doing this is weird. I think that's notable. Now, as they said in that clip, look, if you're a family member of one of these soldiers and you want to smile or you want to do a thumbs up, that's your right. Whether I understand that or not, whether I agree to that, I give you all the leeway in the world to act or celebrate or grieve in whatever way you want. I've lost people. I reserve the right to act however I want at their gravesite. That said, Donald Trump is not one of those people. And he's a big old weirdo. And so I'm going to criticize him. So if we bring up this photo, it is kind of sacred ground. And there's a grave 3 inches from your oversized trousers. Maybe don't do the exact same pose you do for every single photo.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
But regardless, that isn't the only scandal, as we said. A lot of people immediately once that was revealed were thinking, why is he doing basically a campaign photo op at Arlington? You're not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to be a political place in that way. And it turns out that concern was actually a minor version of the actual scandal, which is they knew they weren't supposed to do this, and they caused a bigger issue in their thirst to get the photo op that they want. And so new details coming out say that 2 members of his campaign staff had a verbal and physical altercation on Monday with an official at Arlington National, where the former president participated in that wreath-laying ceremony. A source with knowledge of the incident said the cemetery official tried to prevent Trump staffers from filming and photographing in a section where recent US casualties are buried. The source said that Arlington officials made clear that only cemetery staff members would be authorized to take photographs or film in the area known as Section 60. And when that official tried to prevent the campaign staff from entering Section 60 to do the filming and the photography, campaign staff both verbally abused and pushed the official aside. Because this person whose job it is to manage this sacred ground, who is trying to maintain the sanctity of the cemetery, what the hell do they know? We got to put out a photo on Truth Social. So get the hell out of my way, and they push him aside. Now, we have to be fair. They're saying that that's not how this went, and they have dispatched a very trustworthy source to say that. Stephen Chung, the Trump campaign spokesperson, who I think complained about the smell that Kamala Harris would leave on a plane, said, "We're prepared to release footage if such defamatory claims are made. The fact is that a private photographer was permitted on the premises, and for whatever reason, again, that's not the case, but for whatever reason, an unnamed official, clearly suffering from a mental health episode, decided to physically block members of President Trump's team during a very solemn ceremony." No, it is very solemn ground. It was not solemn once you decided to use it to boost your numbers amongst vets or whatever. And having this massive propagandistic liar say that the official trying to maintain the official policy of the cemetery was suffering a mental health episode is just gross even for him. And again, he's the smell on the plane guy. What do you think, Sharon?
Longing for Katrina Pearson to be back with the campaign in some capacity. That's how bad this guy is. Listen, this is so disgusting. And it is further testament. Everything you said, co-sign on it. But look, they don't follow any rules. Of course, they pushed their way through or however they did it when they were told no. Okay, I don't know. If you really cared about casualties and families who are left behind and the whole thing, this sacred ground. I don't even know why we know you were there. There's certain things I'm not even sure we know why we know you're there. They pushed by and did whatever they wanted to do. And it's no surprise that the campaign staffers, including the spokesperson who has some kind of a obsession with Kamala Harris's scent, is acting in this way. You follow your leader. And I hate even calling him a leader. They take on his tone.
Yeah, and like in theory, it could be the case that he has done things like this and we haven't heard about it.
Absolutely.
Who would bet a single penny that has ever happened? Like Donald Trump's the guy who is so like he's not even willing to do some photo ops that he should. The idea that he'd be doing these events without making them photo ops, like he could go to a church, like he could have someone point a phone at him and do this, but he won't. That's how lazy he is. Who the hell thinks that he's doing this stuff without it being for his own personal benefit? And as I always say, it is possible that some of the family members of these slain soldiers don't mind or even like the fact that Donald Trump is doing this. And they don't see it for the opportunistic, selfish thing that it is. And it gives them some pleasure or some solace. And if that's true, then I'm glad for their sake. But that is what he's doing, and we're not gonna lie about it. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.